Episode 13, Style Lessons from Jane Birkin and My Daughters. It's the 90s, it's school holidays, and my brother and I are seated in front of the TV. A Paul's Warehouse commercial comes on, and my brother and I are so excited. My dad is going to take us these school holidays to the Paul's Warehouse buy one get one free sale. Every time the ad comes on, my brother and I are excitedly discussing which shoes we'll get. Finally, the day comes and we hop in the car and head to Homebush. When we arrive at the store, my brother and I rummage through all the shoes, and my brother chooses a pair of Nikes and I a pair of Adidas shoes. On the drive home, I open up the box and stare at the blue, green and white Adidas shoes, so excited to wear them to school next week, as school holidays is coming to an end. When we get home, we try on our shoes and walk around the unit in them. It's exciting times as a 9 and an 11-year-old. When school starts the week after, I grab the box. As I reach inside to finally debut them, my father stops me. "Wear your old sneakers first," he said. "Save the new ones for important days." I didn't know what important days a 9-year-old was expected to have, but I listened. The shoes went back in the box. What I didn't realize then was that this small moment, like many other childhood moments, would find its way into adult life. "Come on girls, hurry up, let's go," I call out before a simple grocery run. They disappear into their rooms and reappear 10 minutes later. My youngest dressed as a lilac fairy, tulle floating around her like a cloud, and my eldest in a floor-length Frozen 2 gown, dragging along the floorboards. "Guys," I sigh, "we're just going to Woolies. Sachi, you're going to be sweeping the aisles in that dress." But soon I'm buckled in, driving to the shops with Elsa and the lilac fairy chatting happily in the back seat. In the aisles, strangers smile and comment on how adorable they look. The girls barely register them. For them, this is just Wednesday. A few years ago, I stumbled on a photograph of a beautiful woman on Pinterest. She was wearing something deceptively simple, a wicker basket bag, yet she looked so chic. I clicked through more photos and come to learn that this woman was Jane Birkin, a creative with a long-running career in the arts as a singer, actress and director. And each photo, I saw the same bag in every context. On the streets, at bars, and even on the red carpet. Eventually, I learned that this was the same Jane Birkin, the muse behind the luxury fashion brand Hermès' iconic Birkin bag. The result of a chance encounter on a flight with the Hermès chief executive. The story goes, in 1984, Jane Birkin was on a flight with her wicker Portuguese basket bag, which she had been carrying for over a decade. On the flight, the basket broke and the contents spilled out on the seat beside her. The man in the seat allocated next to her was Jean-Louis Damas, the then chief executive of Hermès. She complained to him about the impracticality of the Hermès bag line, their lack of pockets, and their inability to contain all her essentials and those of her young daughter, such as baby bottles. She then grabbed a sick bag from the plane seat pocket and sketched a design for a bag, one that was spacious, had bigger handles and pockets. Damas then took this feedback and sketched to build a more functional everyday bag, and from there the iconic Hermès Birkin bag was born. Different versions of this story have been written about, but at its core, Jane Birkin was the woman with the basket bag, who then became the muse for the Birkin bag. What fascinated me most wasn't the bag, it was how she used it. While today Birkins sit in walk-in wardrobes in pristine condition, Jane Birkin treated hers like her old basket bag. Hers was always overflowing with her belongings, scratched, leather worn in, embellished with beads, charms, trinkets. She adorned it like a memoir hanging from her arm. Her original battered Birkin sold at Sotheby's this year for €8.6 million, a bag imbued with so much story and life. Her philosophy was clear: good things are meant to be used. I've been coming back to that philosophy a lot lately. In my teens, I'd buy 3 pairs of $50 jeans instead of one good pair for $100. Even though I wore jeans every day, I had somehow convinced myself that the more expensive jeans were a waste of money, despite spending more on the cheaper jeans combined. I bought quantity, not quality, and then I'd save the nice things for the occasions that rarely came. My daughters are the opposite. If they love something, they wear it. Special is not a category, they are the special occasion. And they wear the same dress again and again and again. In my 20s, there was a phrase that came into trend for women and shopping: cost per wear or cost per usage. Instead of looking at a pair of $200 jeans as $200, you take it and divide it by the number of times you wear it to truly understand its worth. Jane's story reminds me of this concept. For her, whether it was a wicker basket bag or an Hermes Birkin bag, you used it to its fullest purpose. A few months back, I put up a story on my socials about how my daughter asked to pick my outfit one morning. She ended up choosing an almost floor-length dress from Rixo that I spent a few $100s on that I absolutely love, but I told her I was just going to be around the house that day and running errands and didn't need to be wearing a fancy dress. She said to me, "You can just walk around and pick flowers." I didn't know how to respond, and I laughed. I know it's a corny story, but it's absolutely true, and it was a reminder for me in that moment that children live each day to its fullest, and a reminder for me to do the same. Over the past decade, I've shopped less and chosen better. Colour analysis training helped, so did growing up around a mother and a grandmother who could look at a seam and tell you whether it would survive a season. Now my wardrobe is full of pieces I truly love that have taken me through the years. Some people collect art, and to me, fashion is art. I feel lucky that I have 2 daughters and could pass these on to the next generation, especially as someone that appreciates vintage fashion. Our parents' generation lived through different times: scarcity, survival, practicality. But as I go through my own adulthood with its highs, lows, motherhood, health challenges and healing, I realize I get to rewrite parts of that story. Many of us were raised to preserve the good things, to wait for the special days. But my daughters aren't waiting, and somewhere along the way, I realize I didn't want to wait either. If you knew me in high school, you'd remember I used to say, every opportunity is a fashion opportunity. Somewhere along the way, between babies and exhaustion and real life, I drifted from that. As the saying goes, when you look good, you feel good. And when you wear the things you love every day, you allow yourself to live with intention and joy. These days, when I reach for the nicer pieces in my wardrobe, I hear my daughter's footsteps padding down the hall, tulle brushing against the floorboards. I hear Jane Birkin's basket bag breaking open on an aeroplane floor. I hear my father telling me to save the Adidas for important days. So now when my daughters walk out of the house in sequins and tulle, I don't stop them. I try to remember to follow their lead, wearing something beautiful, because life's too short and the important day is today. Enjoy this week's Serenaid, White Dress by Set Mo.